Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Highlander Season 11 preseason playoffs matchup between PremTech Gaming and the Agency. I am Peter. Joining me today is Asaaj, and John is doing the producing, and we are pretty much already in it. Are you ready for this, Asaaj?
Yes, I am very ready. It's going to be very exciting. We're starting with Steel at the moment, which is PremTech's pick, so we'll see how that plays out. Steel is one of those maps where
I am
I
famously. I know nothing about this map, basically.
yeah, okay. I'll try to talk you through it. So basically it's a tech defend map, and you have to cap all points, or you can just cap E. And it's a map that usually guarantees team play will come through instead of like DM, so we'll see who has a better team play as we are starting right now with AMS on the offense. Let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, looks like you're just going to go straight to A, and there's going to be basically no contention here. Oh, we actually see a spy getting caught out on A. He was just hiding on a rock, but good game sense going in straight away. Though this is pretty standard. I have played Steel a little bit. I just always get mad because the map changes and I can't keep track of where there are openings and where there aren't. But yeah, looks like we have a pretty forward sentry here. I do think that's got to be moved back once the pressure comes pouring in, or?
Yeah, usually they'll have to set you right there. That's usually the standard spot. Once the attacking team pushes, they'll try to like rescue Rager back to where the ammo pack is behind the point. But we'll see how that plays out, as actually the blue team Agency is trying to do a E-push right now, which is very brave. Let's see how that works out.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing that they're just trying to set it up so that it's going to be uncomfortable for Red, right? Because it doesn't even cut off spawners here yet. But I mean, I'm guessing they're just setting up two avenues of attack, arguably three. There's a drop down, there's a spawn, and then there's basically the A entrance. And so far, by rotating here to, or not the A entrance, the C entrance, and the demo just goes down here. He was holding really far forward, and now they're putting time onto E, and they are in there in full force. So this is going to cause them to actually rotate here. Let's see how they deal with this.
Yeah, they have a soldier at the moment happening, and the red team PremTech has to rotate right now. They are forced to do so, and the cap is stopped at the moment, so they are going to try to reset at the moment, which Agency is doing. They are trying to push B now, trying to catch PremTech off guard, but they already rotated, so we'll see.
Yeah, the sentry did. Right, yeah, the sentry did get moved, so it's basically not in the fight yet. It just got up here, but it just it's taking so much damage. He saves it a little bit here, but the Uber has come out for both teams, and it actually looks like AMS has been pushed back here. Soldier bombing into Pyro is not really what you want to see. And Porky goes down, so he loses the sniper duel. So this is actually looking pretty solid defense right now. B area is usually the hardest point to push, in my experience. It's really where this map falters for you, or it's like if you have trouble pushing at all. And Mist wins once again against Porky, so he's definitely doing work here.
Yeah, looking right now, they're resetting right now. What I'm seeing right now is they're actually switching to mini sentries. Maybe they're fearing that they won't have time to get a proper defense on B again. But we'll see how that works out, as the blue team Agency is actually trying to push E again.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they expected a very quick offense to come in, and that's not actually the case. So he's probably going to be regretting his mini sentry decision right here. It looks like they might just catch people out. Phoenix actually runs into a scout and gets taken down by Legal. So that I thought Legal was about to get caught out there, but not enough team pressure coming in. And there we go. It finally does go down. So Mick Nando getting two nice picks here. That's really going to open things up, but oh my god. Porky going down there. That's the sniper is very, very important. Maybe less so on this point right now on Steel. Like there's definitely some areas later on, and Bees was actually pushing forward. He gets taken down by Grenjikov as well. So right now it just seems like it's the spies doing all the fragging, and the rest of them just kind of holding back.
Yeah, well, as I'm seeing right now, the engineer from the blue team is actually trying to set up a level 1 sentry, which is overlooking the E point. So that might distract the red team at the moment, as they are scattered around E, trying to hold them off. And I think that the blue team could try to push B again. I feel like they're wasting a bit too much time on E at the moment, as the engineer goes down. So PremTech will have an easy time dealing with the sentry if they decide to do so.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be calling out. I think they're wasting their time pushing E here. Like we've really seen them just being very proficient at actually rotating it around, and they haven't even moved the sentry around, or rather, it's a mini, so it's not really important. The mini goes down, shouldn't be a big deal. And right now, the Uber will actually come in here onto like Bido. Is that really the demo man's name, or is it?
It's
Maito? Actually
Maito, but
okay,
I suppose he changed his name, yeah. But Ubers have been exchanged, not really coming out for it. That obviously favors the red team right now. There are not many casualties. Actually, Ayoshi goes down, so they won't have an engineer, and Beast is actually trying to push him back right now. They're stuffed in the little B corridor, and it looks like PremTech is actually falling back to C at the moment, so they might actually get B now, which I suspect with a time of like 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, they are falling back down here. It looks like it's not going to work out for blue team. They're falling back once again, and the more times they do this, the more time they waste. They might actually just run out of time and just have to defend B. That would be a super uncomfortable position come defense time. And Soda jumps in very aggressively here, goes onto the medic, and actually gets the force there. Great fort by Quintosh, I believe that was. Yeah, just jumps in and gets it.
Yeah, it was a good force, and Connor pops his Uber now just to defend B. And I feel like the blue team is not quite sure what they want to do. Like, they want to cap E and then they want to cap B. They are not quite decisive in what they do, and Carl actually pushes forward, goes down. Ferry gets the scout and dies now, so it's relatively even now, but as we can see right now, Red is lacking like 4 players.
The big soldier flame coming in from just Josh there. They're getting down the medic, and all of a sudden, all of Red are down, and finally, we're going to see a cap. That took a long time. I can't wait to see what the actual time is, but that definitely helped them back. And do you think they'll actually have time to put defense up on C, or do you think they're just gonna fall all the way back to last and just kind of loosely contest different points?
Looking at it right now, it seems like most of the people are actually somewhere around D, so they'll have a long detour going to C right now, so I suspect that they'll probably try to defend E as their most important thing. So yeah, C is a free cap right now, and they're actually simultaneously putting time on E, so Red has to decide what they want to stop right now.
Yeah, Phoenix was just putting some pressure onto E. I don't think he expected to actually cap it here, but we do see Red trying to contest C here, and so far they're losing a lot of players. And there's even a spy coming in here. He's been called, so he's basically a free pick if they can actually just pick him up. And Deadringer was just banned, right? So, there's no invulnerable spies running around, right?
Yeah, once you kill a spy, it's actually dead now because of no Deadringer. I feel like Red trying to defend C was a bit of a mistake on their parts because they lost a lot of people, and now they are kind of in an awkward position where they have to hold the DE connector, trying to simultaneously defend D and E as the bridge extends to E.
And the soldier once again just Josh being in a wonderful position here. This catches ball out, and he's taking up so much attention that finally goes down, but it might have been a good enough distraction here to allow for the rest of his team, the entire agency, to just get their asses in here. And there's even a spy. You actually had a position behind the medic, but he decided not to go for it. A bit unusual. But once again, Red has some time to breathe here, and there are actually a lot of people down. So I think I'd rather see Blue just put on a ton of pressure, right? They can take D. If not for free, then, that's going to change things. I thought that was going to be easy, but all of a sudden they just lose a bunch of players.
Yeah, Quintosh actually got the medic, so it will be probably like 20 or 30 seconds gone off the clock because of the medic pick, and Connor is having a Uber right now, so they can block whenever they want to.
Yeah, and right now it's just the battle is on D. There's a pyro battle here. Looks like Ferry is going to win that one, barely, on 62 HP. So the D connector is being very hotly contested right now, and there's not too many people on C. There's basically an NG and a scout, and the NG just went down. So I think this is a good time to put some pressure onto C, just to force them to actually rotate around, but legal in the 1v1 against just Josh. And this is looking like a very strong hold. This is a very long time. I don't know what the average time is, but I'm thinking 7 minutes is about the average time, right?
Yeah, 7 minutes is about average, where some teams will put on like 3 minutes time, but that's usually when they cap E. As we see actually Bob trying to cap the point, putting on some pressure, forcing them to rotate, and the blue team trying to push from right room at home as the Uber gets popped and exchange at the moment. Let's see who comes up on top.
Yeah, once again, there's actually going to be an Uber into the D connector here, but if they don't get out of the D connector, they're just all bunched up, right? It's a very enclosed area, and Aoshi actually just goes in there, rushes down the demo man there. That's a really good pick, but all of a sudden, two people just run into the minigun bullets here, and this really strong D defense actually seems to have faltered a little bit. They lost a bunch of players, and now there's pressure on to E once again, and it's going to cause them to rotate. So as Phoenix going out to the point there, it's really strong just because it forces people out of position on D.
Yeah, I would actually like them to put a bit more pressure on B because it forces the red team to actually deal with the threat immediately, as we actually have a level 2 sentry looking at E, so they'll have to deal with that or they lose the point. As Barto actually gets called out right now, and they're losing a lot of players. They're only up at the moment.
Yeah, this might just be it. Stitchy does go down to a snipe, but I think it might be too little too late. Is the Soldier about to jump up here? No, he's going to get taken down as well. And E point, there's even a level 2 sentry, a scout trying to get through the level 2 sentry. Can't say he didn't try, but that's going to be it. So a very long push. It got a lot better once they started to push like E and D at the same time, but 10 minutes is definitely not a very good time here. So, they did get the entire map, but leave some to be desired.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good time, but it's also pretty defendable at the same time. I feel just like the agency, it showed that they really didn't know where to push at what time, and that costed them a lot of time, resulting in the 10 minutes, as we actually see PK using the same sentries that Ayoshi used, which is probably the standard spot right now. And as both teams are running Uber right now, so nothing fancy.
I remember back in the day, like basically where Kunai standing the red heavy, that's where you used to put your sentry. Kind of interesting that it's been moved forward. I like the forward position a lot better. So that's kind of interesting. It probably also shows how long ago it is. I played some proper Highlander. But yeah, either way, it looks like A is going to be pretty much undefended once again. Like there might be a spy running around on it somewhere. Yeah, we have a spy just waiting, see if he can get some sort of pick. Usually doesn't work out, but sometimes. Maybe he gets 3 kills, right?
Yeah, he was there to actually give intel to his team, seeing at how many people actually push A. He'll probably call out that lots of people are actually pushing A right now. You might see combo actually rotating to B, but we'll see if they actually play the AE push as agencies did, as we have just Josh waiting for them at the A entrance.
Do anyone ever use the drop down? Ever? I'm thinking they don't.
Well, usually, like if they want to fake a E push and then push B, they usually go by the drop down because it's much faster than just going back to spawn. As we actually see PremTech pushing from spawn a really early Uber, which is getting denied by Ghosten a lot. So the sentry actually goes down right now, but agency didn't have to use the Uber, use it now because it's free Uber, as Connor actually gets headshot by Porky, which is a great shot. Will hold them for a solid 20 seconds.
Yeah, the counter Uber wasn't very strong. They were very far away, and the demo was just reloading stuff, so you didn't even jump them. But they got the medic take off of the snipe, so that's very strong. And they even saved the dispenser here, right? Can't let them get that crucial dispenser. Gotta save it. That was the rescue ranger showing its power there. But right now, Blue is in a pretty good position. Like you can just see the heavy on the roof here, and the soldier jumps in onto the sentry gun. And yeah, this is looking very strong. They've actually pushed red into this little doorway, and there's just no way they can contest B here. So this is a much, much stronger push already. It's even a heavy in this little door, but he's going to get the knife. The Grindelwald takes him down with a knife and a headshot. So that was a lot faster B push.
Yeah, I'm really liking this aggression coming out of PremTech, because you don't always have to use an Uber just to try to get a point. The dry push really worked out for them, and they're trying to push C at the moment. Beast is actually getting caught out, which might not be a good play right now. And they're losing Kunai as well as Josh right now, so the combo is pretty weak at the moment. They actually use the Uber on the sniper, which is also not desirable.
Yeah,
This
this
goes
soldier's
down.
just eating them alive. Porgy, wow, Porgy actually made it out alive. That was a good play, but still, they lost the medic. So that's the big part. Porgy's alive. Maybe you can get the crucial corner pick once again. That's what you want out of your sniper. But this is definitely looking rough. What's the best way to go from C into D?
Usually, what most prem teams do is they'll have like their flank pushing like the DE connector. No, I mean the CD connector. But as we see right now, we actually have the combo doing so. And then
spy on the medic. Oh, that was so close. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No worries, no worries. So we actually have them pushing D right now, PremTech that is, and Agency is actually in the white room right now. They'll probably contest, but they're wasting a lot of cap and they could be blocking much earlier right now, and Might is actually stuffing them out of the white room, which caused them to rotate.
Yeah, and it's just it just seems like they've been able to, like Blue, they've been able to get onto the points and then just lock people out of these small entrances so much better than what we saw in the other round. So it really seems like it's going to be a very secure round. But they still have to push the or E rather, and both movers have been popped here, and Connor might get juggled in a little bit here. No, he is going to get out alive, but the combo is kind of trapped inside here. The people and enemies on both fronts just contesting them here, and they do have a big sentry on E, just having the Wrangler.
Ayoshi actually with the play, picking off both the demo and the medic, which gives them a lot of breathing room and a lot of pushing power. Entry on E goes on right now, and Count is actually in the DE connector getting taken out, and so far, like, it seems like it has been reset a little bit.
Yeah, this is not a pretty push like we've seen so far. McNander goes down, he tried to get the medic with some headshots. Now there's a point of time onto the point here right now. They've got a mini on it, they got a scout on it, plus a few extra players around. They're just trying to contest this lobby right now, and they're doing a pretty good job. Look at that, Engie just storming forward, trying to get the medic. Medic barely survives, and that's going to be a pretty good hustle there coming in, but there's still time just going on onto E. And now that they've secured the D area, they need to go forward and actually block E. And there's a spy on the point. Nobody's turning around. There we go, finally. This is going to be enough, though.
Yeah, it probably will be. They popped the Uber. There's not much stuff in the Scout has free cap time right now, and there's a lot of people down on the Agency, as you have actually PremTech winning right now, which is a very well-deserved win. They played still really clinical from A to E. They kept all of the points and did it in probably six minutes or so, so solid 4 minutes faster than what Agency did.
Yeah, it really seems like this is a map of it's like steamrolling or building momentum. It's a map of momentum, basically, right? Like if you get B pretty fast, they don't have time to set up on C and D, and then it just kind of snowballs out of control, and you get a pretty good time. Whereas if you struggle on B, you can just really run into a lot of trouble. Just if you give them time to set up on any previous point, then you can just waste a ton of time pushing it. But is this a best of 3, or is this map just over?
It's a best of 3, so it's at least one more round, maybe even 2, depending on which team wins next. But as this is PremTech's pick, I will probably give the win to PremTech. But we never know. Might be 2-1, might be 2-1 for the Agency. We'll see what they'll actually pull out, if they'll actually try to be a bit more clinical like PremTech was and not waste so much time on the E-push as they did.
Yeah, like the defense from the Agency was not disastrous by any means, right? Like it was kind of fine. It wasn't bad. It was like a 6-minute-ish time. And it was really their offense that really killed them that round. So they need to figure out a way to get B a lot faster and then just steamroll through as fast as they can there, right? So that's the big problem. That's what they have to fix. So how do you think they could fix it?
Basically, be a bit more decisive in their plays. If they want to push E or B, they'll actually have to stick through with it instead of like trying to decide if they want to do it and then just like half committing to a push. Is probably one of the few things that I would suggest them doing.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We definitely saw them rotate around, kind of just hang around it kind of mid-range where they weren't doing anything, where it would have been probably just better off just going all in. Right. I really do agree with that one. So hopefully that they see their mistakes there as well and try to fix them. And I'm not sure what we're actually waiting for right now. Suppose one of our 18 players have, I don't know, a cigarette break or something.
Yeah, maybe a cheeky restroom break. Who knows? But maybe like one thing agency could do when they push, which like Joe's team is very good at doing, is when they push B on offense, like to use crits, force the Uber, and then repush with the crits once they have it. And that's one of the tactics that, if you're not ready for it, it actually will most likely guarantee B cap. So maybe they'll pull out Twitch Speed, maybe they'll just stick to Medigun, or maybe they'll even use a quick fix or detonator. Who knows?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of options all the time. You could also see the classic E-rush, right, where you just get your engineer basically just set up on A. I definitely think there was a time where people would set up on A, and we've seen both teams not do that at all. And that would be a really strong E-push in those days because of where you could put your sentry and what you had kind of domain over. So
yeah. I mean, like, the A defense kind of got out of fashion, like, at least 2 or 3 years ago, because if you didn't do it properly, like, you would get called out quite easily, and you would probably gift the enemy team another easy cap on B or even E. So it's very hard to defend A, and that's why probably defending B is the better option.
Right. So let's see. Do you want to talk about? Maybe you could go through the lineups actually. Now that we have some time, we didn't do that before we started. So why don't you go through like PremTech first?
Okay, all right, sure. So we have PremTech, a very well-seasoned team. They actually took a season off last season, but they have been competing in Prem for 2 seasons. The roster right now we are having on the server at the moment is Legal on Scout, which is a very underrated scout in my opinion. We have Kuntoch, who's working for Lucas, who is the main soldier, which is also one of those players that can play any class. On Pyro we have Ferry. On Demo we have Big Maito, the team leader. Heavy Kaltu, Engineer, we have Ayoshi, Medic Connor, Sniper Mist, and Spy Granger Bob. So all in all, a very solid team. Looks like we're going live.
All right. Okay. Let's see if they decide to go with the B setup. So far, I just assume so. I have always loved seeing how the engineers set up. You know, they have like their build order down. As an old StarCraft player, that fills my heart with joy. I think, just gotta get that build order up, right? But just make sure everything like you have your route with all the ammo packs and people suiciding and all that good stuff. It's just really fun to have that down to a science, and you can do really cool stuff if you time everything right. But you're not even being whipped or anything. So disappointed. You can like put teleport. His ammo's actually gonna put like a weird teleporter on C. I guess he is. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, he can basically get away for free if he takes the teleporter and might even rescue Ranger his sentry. He didn't upgrade his sentry to level 3, so that might be an issue.
I think it was an exit that he put at C, and he's not using the rescue Ranger. But yeah. Once again, we just see the rush in here on A. Just completely uncontested. Once again, it's just a spy who's been caught out. He's been peed on, and he was even on fire for a bit. It looked like he's just gonna do the "I'm gonna stand still" feint, and it actually works. Last time around, he got the sniper holding like on A, so he got a little nice pick there. There's like of course this small little window area where the sniper can see into E. So. No, he can shut that down. He's actually behind the sorter right now. He doesn't quite get him. The sorter jumps away. But he's onto a sentry gun and he just gets taken down. That seems kind of unnecessary, but really good coordination here. And Uber comes in and the spy saps the sentry just as that attack comes in. And a lot of people have gone down from both teams here. And that could actually favor the offense quite a bit here, as they should have better spawns. And here we go. But the counter Uber comes in from red, and that's going to force everyone back. And is that the sniper really far in? Actually loses down to Porky, who headshots him down there. That was kind of a funny duel there. But once again, this B push is failing quite a bit.
Yeah, well, blue team had to pop really early, and agency on the red team, their medic, was really far back. He was in no pressure to pop, so he milled it a lot, which resulted in a better Uber exchange for them, and then blue team was too far in to actually push a point that lost a lot of players.
Yeah, I'd like to see them just push in now, right? Don't wait for Uber. You don't want Uber to actually be a factor here, right? Because at this point you have better spawn timers, I assume. Right? You even have scouts in super far, but the problem right now is that the heavy is putting on a lot of pressure, and now the heavy is super weak, and now the demo comes in, so it all just seems kind of like off timing here. So if they had all just gone in at the same time, this would have been a lot better. That being said, though, they are making a lot of progress, and look at where red is. They're all in this little doorway, and the Sorter even jumps in now and just doing so much damage. Quick shots with the big double kill, and there comes Uber getting forced out, and so far Kona is not even being forced. Yeah, look at that. That heavy is just gonna run back with his head down, gets taken down. Gunai is gonna be sad there. So actually a really good push. I criticized him a little bit too early there.
Yeah, that was definitely a good push by PremTech. And now they are trying to push C. I'd assume they're in the BC connector at the moment, and they didn't even use their Uber there, have Uber advantage, and agency is trying to defend C, where the Uber is popped by PremTech at the moment, and agency is forced to back out at the moment.
Yeah, now they're pretty much in this little hallway, and that's going to be so difficult to actually get out of. You can see the heavy and the sniper and the medic all bunched up here, and they just eat like one pipe and one rocket, and just take so much damage. And I think that at this point they're just padding their damage stats. They're just going to have to get out of there and rotate to D and E. So, you know, we really see this thing where they just up the momentum. This is 3 minutes. I think this took them 7 minutes the last time to get B. So very much a big improvement. No, wait. I'm getting the teams mixed up. But yeah, either way, this is a very good push.
Yeah, now we have the combo actually going to white and trying to contest the red combo from agency. The US actually popped right now. Carlton gets called out at the moment, and Connor has to retreat. They'll use the Uber now. Aito, he might catch the combo off guard, which I do, and it's a complete wipe, which you don't see a lot of times on Steel, which basically means that they'll probably get D for free, and they're putting a lot of time on E now, so you might see...
Yeah, this is looking very strong. It's only the Spy, too, right? Look at that, a 28-second respawn for the Spy. I've never seen that. And there we go. Literally everyone just respawned, and if I was them, I wouldn't even bother going out of spawn.
Yeah.
But they're fighters. There we go. And they're gonna all just come in through this one same door, and it's just gonna be a slaughter. You know, they definitely tried. They're not quitters like I am. Oh, look at this! They actually managed to bump off pretty much everyone, but there we go. I don't even think anyone went into the pit, airstripping on point there, but 4 minutes cap. That's a very strong time.
Yeah, that's a very respectable time, which will probably prompt agency to actually try to cap E first and foremost, and not like push from A, B, C, D to E, because they don't have the time for it unless they get like some really lucky wipes on the enemy team. They are probably more or less forced to actually try to cap E. We might actually see the crits in play now, who knows, but as we see right now, looking at Stitzy, he's still on Uber, so there's nothing special going on here, pretty standard play.
Yeah, maybe they just feel like they can actually do it. Just to improve their play. But, you know, they might have something else specially planned, and obviously he's not going to go crits because he has a golden medigun, so you got to use that all the time because swag. But yeah, how would an E push work when the enemy team is holding B? I assume you just cap A, open the door, and then just go all in on E.
Yeah, you would probably have to commit all of the team to E. Try to get them to rotate and then have a UV exchange into the BC connector while the flank is trying to push the pressure on the point.
The medic is still inside of spawn, so maybe they're going for a very early B push here. Like there's obviously no contests here on A, and there's just only one soldier in the connector, and it looks like they're just gonna go in here as fast as possible, just waste as little time as they can humanly get away with, And there's actually a heavy really far forward in this this area, right? And he's going to run into a demo man, and he could actually die. He's so weak. He does go down, so that's the heavy. Well, so that should definitely prompt a push right away. And go.
Oh, they're still waiting. I don't know why they're waiting. They have a free reign to push at the moment. Maito's really far forward, and now we see actually agency pushing right now, really early Euro, and now we actually have a Euro exchange.
Yeah, I do think this is going to be enough, though. Like we see a lot of people going down red, like on both spawns, and we have the Wranglers just wrangling each other down. A pretty funny sight here. But everyone on red are basically in this little doorway now, and this is just such a poor position. But look at that! Bob comes in and takes down the heavy. That's definitely going to make a difference here. And now the red people are just pulling forward, and they might just take down the engineer as well, and with the sentry. And there's a soldier behind now. So now they have a decision to make. Do they go back and deal with the soldier, or do they just keep moving forward? So far, this looks like they're going to deal with the soldier, but that's going to cause red to actually get a window to move forward.
Yeah, basically. The Euro's even at the moment. Kuna is on the high ground at the moment, but she might get sniped if she isn't careful. They're still basically stuffed in the little B corridor and still waiting for Euro, which they'll probably have to right now because I don't see them right pushing at the moment as East goes down and Gordon goes down as well, so it's pretty disastrous at the moment.
Oh, and Stitzy popped there as well. Basically everyone died and then Stitzy got popped, so this is just a complete disaster. Stitzy might not even get out alive. Look at that. Oh, can he make it? Yes, barely. Okay, so not a complete disaster, but definitely bad news overall. And there's 2 minutes left. At this point, I think you just ignore B and go all in on E, right? Because there's just no way you can capture the entire map. So I would be very surprised to see them not rotate here.
Yeah, as they're rotating right now, well, basically you have to go to E now. There's no way that you actually capture B and then try to cap E, so they'll push E with full force right now as we have Legal trying
Spy
to
onto the medic, but he gets healed and then spotted. Okay. Small hiccup there, but looks like the demo went forward really far. There's actually a spy onto the sentry. The sentry gun is in this little doorway, so the sentry gun is looking at the point, so you can't just jump a scout onto it. And so far, Red Team is doing a very good job of actually holding E here. They're obviously completely off of B. They don't care. They shouldn't care about B, at least. Right? So they just going to completely ignore it. There's 1 minute remaining, and they are just focusing on these entrances from the lobby.
Yeah, at this point I don't think it's possible anymore. I mean, a minute left, and they both have Ewer and sentries overlooking the point, and Blue Ewer actually gets popped, but the demo man actually kind of gets stopped as he gets air blast into the pit, dies, and they're actually getting chased out from the right room. We have Ferry actually to push Kuna at the moment, decides to retreat for a little bit, and this looks for me like PremTech actually will win this 2-0.
Yeah, I don't know what the minimum time to actually capture E is, but it's definitely getting there where it might actually just be impossible. Galtu trying to spam down a sniper there, and he might even just punch the scout. No, doesn't quite get it there. But so far, like the medic and the heavy were actually stuck in lobby, and they actually managed to just survive that. So, you know, that could have ended really disastrously for them, as Corsten reflects Mitre down, and then thanks to Quintos, and there we go. The timer runs out. So that's going to be a quick 2-0 roll there. Very strong performance so far from PremTech.
Yeah, PremTech is known for being really good at steal as well. I think last time we played in, what was it, Season 9 or so? They actually went against Strong Opinions 4-2, where Strong Opinions obviously the favorite to win the map. They actually snatched the win from them. So that's a really dominant showing of PremTech, and I feel like the agency, as I said, like their commitment issues and actually planning out what they want to do really got them in the end. Where, for example, Bees was always overextending. Well, not always, but he was quite often in a non-favorable position, which caused him to die, and then basically meaning that the push would be somewhat stopped because the demo man died.
Yeah. Do you remember what the maps were that were picked?
Yeah, I think we'll be going to Badwater right now, which is agency speak, so maybe they'll put on a better show on Badwater than they did on Steel.
Yeah. All right. While we are changing maps, I want to just shout out Blackout Gaming is having a Highlander. What was it? Like an invitational Highlander tournament this Sunday, I believe. I'm trying to find the page here. Yeah, there we go. The Highlander Invitational #1. So the first of many. But it's basically Strong Opinions, TC Frosties, The Bureau, Budget Toucan, Super Dickmans Kanonen, and Invision, Turrets, Chess Club, and PremTech. So a lot of some of the very best Highlander teams in Europe going to go all out. They're going to be battling it out for 90 British pounds plus 50% donations to charity, which I do remember what it was. I forgot about that one.
I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely tune in to that one. It will be a very good show and kind of a taster for what the season is going to be like, because there's, I think, most of them, if not all of the teams that are actually competing in the moment in Prem playoffs right now. So definitely tune into that, as we are going to Badwater at the moment.
Oh, Badwater, that's always a good time. Is it the pro version or is it just the stock one?
It's the stock one. I think in the regular season there's going to be the normal Badwater version as well. So a lot of teams will be familiar with this one. It's basically the be-all, end-all of Highlander, as I would say.
Yeah, I posted the link to the Highlander Invitational. There's a big write-up. Like it's really comprehensive, an insight into all the teams. I definitely recommend checking that out. Do some good reading. It's worth it. So, are we actually going to see like a heavy fist fight to determine who's going to push first, or is it just going to be the opposite we saw before?
Might be fun to see, but at the moment, I do think that the agency is defending right now, so they'll be defending against PremTech and then afterwards pushing against what PremTech said. That's interesting to see. I don't know, like, if that's the best decision. Usually, like when I play, I'd rather see what I have to defend against setting my own time when I attack first than defending first, but I guess that's personal preference.
Oh, you definitely want to defend first, right? Because then you know how fast you need to push, right? You need to know how many risks you have to take. Whereas on defense, you don't actually know in the first one. If you defend first, then wait, I'm confusing myself. Never mind. But yeah, usually you want to make sure you have as much information as possible. So
yeah, that's a fair point. But yeah, predictions on this map. How do you think this map will go?
I still think PremTech is the favorite here, but you said that they were very strong on steel, so I definitely think it's going to be closer on this one. I could absolutely see our good friends, the agency, get around here if they really try. But yeah, I feel like we're going to see like a 7-minute push time coming in from PremTech, and then that's gonna barely be enough by like half a minute. That's my bold prediction. How about you?
I'll just like, I probably think that HGT has a really good chance to win this, but it'll probably be close. It will not be a 2-0 roll. It might be 2-1 for the agency, as they have picked the map, and I'd like to believe that if you pick the map, you're very confident that you're gonna win, right?
Yeah, that's how it usually goes. If you want to get into Prem, you should definitely be confident. I believe the way this is all set up is that we have 4 matches today, and then the winner will move on to the upper bracket, while the loser will move on to the losers bracket, and then the top bracket will play against each other tomorrow, and the winner of that will be guaranteed into Prem. So it's basically 2 wins to get into Prem so far, and then the loser brackets. And the loser for that will move on to the lower bracket, and then they'll play the other ones, and then the winner they'll move on, and then those people will go to Prem. So we'll end up with 5 extra teams in Prem.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come this week. Really good week for Highlander, if you'd ask me this week. If you're a Highlander fan.
Yeah, for sure. If that's your thing, you're gonna be basically dropped up all weekend. Just, you'll just be glued to your screen, just looking at some of the best Highlander action in the game, in Europe at least. I'm not actually sure what the American Highlander scene look like these days, but it tended to be smaller than the European one, I think.
Alright, so I'm not sure what we are waiting for. I think they're both 9 players. Maybe someone actually is having a small break. Maybe they'll just talk about strategies really quick to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, could be. Are people still foregoing holding B in favor of just holding C?
Usually what most teams do is like the second point usually doesn't really get defended as it did in the old days where you had like this whole setup on the roof. And what they do now is that they'll have people actually set up around the corner, right out of the spawn gates, just to like contest what's around the corner. And if something goes wrong, they can always just back out to C, because C is, in my opinion, the hardest point to push, especially because of the sentry in the window, which is hard to get unless you have coordination going on.
Yeah, it kind of makes me sad that people don't hold the roof, right? Because I understand why they don't do it. It's just B point is definitely on the roof. It's like by far the most fun point, in my opinion, on this map. Right, like it's so well designed, and like the way you can go behind, and there's the point down there, and then you have to watch all these different flanks, and there's height differences, and it's just a super fun point to actually play. But the way it works is that it's actually just a lot better to hold, especially C point, right? Or like the third point underneath after the bridge, like where you hold with the valley and set up a sentry in the window and all that good stuff, right? That's just such a strong position that you can't jeopardize it by losing B, because if you lose the second point B, then there's a really good chance that you just keep on pushing forward and you can't set up on the third point.
Yeah, it really depends on like how the first point goes. If you basically manage to wipe the team on A, you can obviously push up to C. But I don't know, like the B point is not to my liking, in my opinion, as we are actually going live into the match right now, where we have agency defending against right now. Let's see what the engineer actually does, if he does the standard setup, which is right around the tunnel exit, or if he puts his sentry like somewhere closer to the night jumpers easier. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, well, I've seen some very creative uses of the sentry where they will place the sentry really far forward in a kind of unpredictable spot, and then use that to deny jumpers, and then you just pull it back. I didn't see if he had the rescue ranger on yet. Did you notice? I assume he does. Like that seems like a really strong loadout to use on this map, on this point, and just on this map in general, because this is so centered around pulling back in time, and saving a sentry like that is super strong.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you wouldn't run the rescue ranger, because it's a good weapon. Just if you want to defend, you use a rescue ranger, because you can just repair your sentry from a long distance and pull it out. We'll see how the suicide waves go.
Yeah, most teams obviously just run a suicide wave and then push the sentry as far as possible. And there's a spy on the rock. They're just gonna wait here. So often we'll see like a soldier running through the tunnel and getting ready to jump up, and then the demo jumps in at the same time, and maybe there's like a scout rushing it. You see some different things, but so far it's been a very subdued spot here, and the spy actually managed to actually get in really far. And here comes the man. Does get a lot of damage onto the medic. This is going to be very uncomfortable for the medic, and there we go. It's actually uncomfortable enough for him to actually up. So a really strong suicide wave, getting it done. They took their sweet time, but they eventually did it. And the NG even takes people down in the tunnel here as well. So full advantage coming in.
Yeah, they play really good. They had the spy distracting the medic and the NG at the same time, while the demo man and the soldier jumping in. So the medic wasn't quite sure what to pop on, as we actually see Quintos jumping in again, trying to get the medic. The medic is really low, but he doesn't go down for now. He actually goes down to Ranger Bob. That's a really old play by Ranger Bob, and they lost like 4 people, so they'll probably have to fall out really soon.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was basically a second suicide wave, even after they got the medic to pop, and it worked out perfectly. That's pretty interesting. So Connor just still Not optimizing his points here. He's not popping his Uber, but he's definitely playing well as the heavy even goes down. So I don't think there's any way they can actually hold the roof here. Right, like, yeah, PK is just going to set up all the way back in the window. So he's not even going to do the forward position that you were talking about. I definitely agree with that decision. Like, the roof is basically lost at this point. There's only Josh up there just trying to do his best. Actually just going to jump in onto the cart.
He drops the medic.
Wow.
That's a good play. He actually got 2 kills as well. I guess I didn't think that the soldier would be on the roof. That's a really good play by Josh. And it might actually help Agency to defend this point, as they are now holding the corner a bit more while the engineer is actually getting the sentry up on C.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can hold around the corner and then the engine can just push forward. And with the rescue ranger, you can set up things in a sideline way, so you can move up very quickly once you have it set up properly. But they might just prefer to keep him all the way back. I definitely remember playing Engie on this map and just hanging around all the way back. And yeah, here we go. Just going to let second cap out and then just move back into the very defensible... I don't know, what do you actually call this whole valley position?
I'd probably just call it valley or main. There's a lot of different calls, but usually people know what we're talking about when we just say main. As we actually have a lot of people pushing main, which might not be the best of idea, but we have missed actually making sure that he can counter snipe if the sniper is actually looking very, and they're getting a lot of free cap time at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think cap time is too important here though. You want to prevent it from rolling back too far, but here comes the Uber, and both Ubers have been popped right now. There's a spy in a very good position, just crouching in a corner. That should give him away pretty easily. Yeah, there we go. Just on the cart. And they actually might decide, no, there we go. A nice pipe coming in from Maito. There's only Phoenix behind right now. He's onto the sniper brigade, just getting laid down. There we go, missed. Poor Phoenix. Finally the sniper does go down, but that was a cap. So that push actually worked out really well. The engineer, he's still trying to desperately set up a sentry behind, but I don't think a level 1 will be able to get the job done. And at this point, I think the engineer should just kill himself, to be honest. Like, he needs to go back.
I don't know what actually happened there. Like, they had the sentry on the roof, but they just pushed anyway, and then the engineer didn't get the memo that he had to fall out. So now we actually see PremTech pushing at the moment with Maito and Carlton on the cards. Sentry not being set up at the moment, and Beast is really low. He actually goes down, and there's no medic as well, so the combo is really weak at the moment, and lots of people are actually dying right now. There's a mess going on at the moment.
Yeah, the problem right now is that basically everyone, if they want to not feed, they need to stay in spawn, but if they're staying in spawn, then they're not contesting the point. So there's just a rock and a hard place, and look at that. That was a very quick push. 4 minutes, 4:20. Is it? Good captain, boys. Well memed. I can't help but feel like they did this on purpose.
Yeah, they knew how much time they had left. But that was a very convincing out by PremTech. They never let go of W, I think, and they never actually gave Agency a chance to have a proper setup, except on C. But even then, like, the Uber exchanges for most of the time in favor of PremTech, which resulted in them just pushing and pushing without actually having any sort of resistance whatsoever.
Indeed. So at this point, it's just all up to the Agency to push really fast, right? I don't think they have to get any point particularly fast compared to others. So, they have that going. If they can just go fast and steady. No slow and steady for them. Fast and steady. And then they can win it. And that's basically... They just have to do what PremTech just did. Just a little bit faster. And there was a bit of a lull on C. So, yeah, it's definitely doable. But they've got their back against the wall here. Let's see if they do any kind of suicide wave as the soldier Quinchas jumps in very aggressively. Actually takes down the engineer. That's interesting. The engineer usually is the one pushing the car. So maybe that's going to cause things to be off by a little bit, but probably not. Let's see. Of course, going down is not important. So they're just setting up right now, just waiting it out. Looks like, here we go. The demo finally jumps in, but gets completely denied. And a lot of people going in there, just jumping into the face of the sentry, but that's just going to be it. Full suicide wave done, and the soldier jumps in very aggressively into spawn. Quintas is really liking the aggressive. I'm not actually sure what he tried to jump. He's trying to get, I don't know, the medic peeking or something, but Stitzy's not going to fall for that.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have another reset. They'll maybe try to push on with the Uber now, trying to get a Uber exchange, or might do another suicide wave. We are not sure yet. Sniper is actually down, and so is the Spy, as we actually see the Uber exchange right now. So far, there's no, you can't see who's the winner, but actually Stitzy falls out, and that means that Red Team actually retains the high ground, which is a bit problematic for the agency right now.
Yeah, usually, like, the Pyro is so powerful on this position, because normally any push just ends as soon as he pushes people off that high ground. And you just can't make any really effective headway here. But the medic goes down. That's Kona. Again, I think that's the second time on this map, and Beast even did survive that. The soldier jumps in kind of alone here. So the sentry and the teleporter is still up. So right now it's kind of looking sketchy for Red. But if they just hold on for a few more seconds, then they will have stabilized and they can hold this. And there we go. Stitzy going down to legal, as well as Kunai. That's definitely gonna be the stabilization that I was talking about. So now it's just a complete chaos, and that's going to be it. Very strong hold for Red, and now it's just Aoshi desperately trying to get up his sentry.
Yeah, they're just PremTech are just so good at like trying to control the situation. They had a lot of people down, but in the end, because of the teleporter, they got a lot of reinforcements and kept retaining the high ground. And the Pyro, as you said, plays a big role there. As Ghost and CC goes down
go down here.
Quintosh actually bombing the medic right now. So no medic for the team.
Josh just beefed 2 and 3 rockets in a row on the medic, and the teleporter is still up. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't bombed the porter at some point. It seems worth it, but yeah, there we go. Everything in the tunnel is down as well. And I think at this point you just pull back and actually hold the roof. But no, I guess it doesn't matter at this point. Alright, there's a minute and 30 left. You can't push the entire map, so might as well be men and hold far forward. So all the fighting is taking place on this backwards down slope, and that's going to be the high ground for PremTech, and they're just making really good use of it, and they are holding an Uber.
Yeah, they're still holding A at the moment. The NG actually is on mini sentries right now, so they're very confident that they'll actually keep holding A, which is a good decision in my opinion. You don't always have to give up a point just because you're lacking like 2 or 3 players, and it works out for them as they are still holding on firmly onto the 8 points. And with a minute, with 43 seconds left, it's basically around for PremTech.
Yeah, I think I was just hopeful that they'd actually fall back to the roof, because the roof is fun. I really like the roof. So, oh my god, Josh, stop beefing rockets. Actually somehow almost losing to Quintas there, but no, he's gonna be just fine. Soldier bomb. That's probably the worst unlock in the game right there. Just completely takes away all control. But yeah, they're just funneling forward, having fun here. Kona might as well use Uber before he drops, right? Oh my god, the bee's going down. I don't know. I didn't see. Oh, okay. I thought the demo might have actually been air headshot there. It looks like it was just the heavy just eating him for dinner. But a very strong first round in A not even falling.
Yeah, very convincing by PremTech. They just seem so much in control. Whereas much like in Steel, Agency were like they couldn't necessarily cope with the situation they were given, so they weren't quite sure what to do, and the suicide waves didn't really go into their favor that much. And PremTech actually holding on to the 8 point is probably something that caught them off guard as well, because many other teams would have actually fallen back, but PremTech didn't, and that's very good on them. I like to see aggression.
Yeah, I think that's almost just a sign of them having a better DM overall. Because, they did have the Uber, but they didn't have man advances, and they were in a pretty bad position, but they just had the confidence and the DM, and they just stayed forward, and they didn't even use their Uber to hold it. So that definitely seems like it's just DM shining through, and probably also some team coordination. Team coordination is, of course, very important in Highlander. That's kind of the defining feature of the play mode, because coordinating 9 players can be a very daunting task. I don't know if you've ever played Highlander at a very low level. I assume that's where you started out, and that was probably just complete chaos.
Yes, it was. There's a lot of people talking at the same time, and no one really knows what to do at the same time. As the higher you go in the divisions, obviously you have people know what they're doing, but even then, trying to coordinate 9 players in Prem is hard. And you have to have a really dominant main caller who keeps the team in check, just to make sure that everyone is on the same page.
Yep, indeed. I'm looking at the... Yeah, okay, so let's just mention what other matches are going on today. We have Chess Club, slash Budget Dukins versus TC Frosties, and then we have Phaela versus Envision, Stacked versus Super Dickmans Juniors. No, wait, what? Yeah, this is it, right? I don't know. This is some weird names going on in the bracket there, but there are basically 4 games going on, and we're obviously only covering one of them because, as good as we are at looking at other people play games, we can't watch all the games.
Yeah, that's true. It would be great if there'd be a bit more coverage, but just the fact that we have all these matches going on is really hype for me. And so far, this match has been really good, great to watch, really good Highlander going on at the moment, and now we have actually the agency trying to set the time, and looking at the setup right now, the engineer from the red team, Yoshi, actually puts the sentry a bit more further to the rocks, just to deny the jumpers a bit quicker than what the tunnel sentry does. So let's see how that will work out.
Yeah, this is what they did last round, and it completely shut down a lot of the suicide. The downside to this is, of course, that it doesn't quite cover like the valley or the slope area, and it doesn't cover the entrance. But look at that! 3 people going down right away. The soldier jumping in once again, and people falling for a sticky trap. So just already, this suicide wave is not looking strong, especially seeing how Bees was one of the people going down right away. The demo man is really the one suicider that's worth looking onto, and there's even a soldier onto the demo once again. Quinton's trading there with the demo is actually a good trade. So already this is looking very dominant once again.
Yeah, Beast went on that, so suicide waves are a bit delayed right now. We'll see how they'll do the suicide waves now. I assume they'll jump.
Soldiers in here! Onto the medic! Wow! That was perfect timing. The sentry was being moved, so it actually covered the bottom there, but it was still going up as a soldier jumped, and Kana once again dropped for like the 3rd time. Everyone has just gone down, but you know, they spawn very quickly, and Stitzy just sitting in spawn with his full Uber advantage. So now we're about to see a push coming in here. And they did this last time as well, so let's hope they learned their lesson and actually managed to push properly this time.
As we see, Kuna and Stitzy actually on the hillside area. Stitzy is really low, actually has a pop really early. Good play by Quintosh. And the Uber might run out before they even get there. So Uber exchanged in favor of PremTech, who didn't even have Uber.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate that one soldier actually got that, and look at that. Legal and Maito just both chasing down the medic, so Stitzy not being able to dish out heals here is definitely going to be a detriment to their team. And the whole positioning here from Red, it's still basically untouched. The teleporter hasn't been touched, the sentry gun is fine, the dispenser is fine, and everyone are just in position. They have the pyro ready to spy check and push off the Uber, although he is roaming quite a bit right now, and it just looks so untouched.
Yeah, indeed. I feel like agency could utilize the far left side a bit more. I don't think they've been utilizing it that well, whereas they try to push from the hills most of the time, and Quintosh is actually going in, getting the medic again.
Wow. Yeah, they really need to kind of sort their stuff out, right? I guess Gorston need to make sure that the pyro is with the medic, because if he does his job right, there's just no way the medic can ever die to a soldier. But yeah, so far Quinta is doing work, and they're gonna need another drop onto Kana here. No, Kana's already shown that he doesn't like upping hoopers, so might as well send in some suiciders, I guess. But yeah, might also just go for like trying to suicide onto the buildings, because you know you can't save your dispenser or your teleporter with the with the Wrangler. So that's also a line of play here. You see the spy going in and then the soldier jumping in right after that. And that's going to be deflected pretty much. But here comes the Uber. That was a defensive Uber just to save the heavy. I don't like that one. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess, but there's like 2 people for the red team right now. They still retain high ground. Connor is actually reuniting with Halto at the moment, so they're still fine on top. Stitzy has 85% Uber, and at the moment they are trying to do a tunnel push, which can work. Let's see how this actually goes down, as we actually have Stitzy popping Uber quite early in the tunnel. Kunai pushing onto the combo at the moment, trying to free.
Oh, Josh getting denied there by an air pipe. It's going to be annoying for him. Here we go. Round 2 onto the medic. Does a lot of damage onto the Meg, and there we go. Beast takes down the medic. This is looking like Red will stabilize just a bit, but once the respawn waves comes in for Blue, this could be all over for Red. Right, there's a level 1 and a teleporter. The teleporter is extremely important right now because that's going to be reinforcements coming in, but the spy is in position to take down the engineer here, and the medic just took the teleporter. That's very dangerous. If everyone just dies, then the medic gets picked off, and yeah, there we go. Connor just, he's going to have to regret taking that teleporter. And the LUL in chat coming out from Mist. And A will get capped here. It took a while, but finally some mistakes that are coming out from PremTech.
Yeah. In the combination with this way actually killing the engineer and Connor taking the teleporter at a missed opportune time, that meant that the agency could push, and they're pushing right now very dominantly. Will get a free B cap right now, as Ayoshi is just now setting up on C.
Yeah, he has nothing built so far. Like he's literally starting from scratch here. And you know, once people come down onto this bit, there's going to be like maybe a level 1, but it's still building right now. Yeah, there you go. The level 1 is up, but the level 1 can't shoot out the window. I learned this the hard way. I looked very dumb. I guarantee you, when I tried to wrangle people through that window. So yeah, definitely looking very strong here. The faster we see the agency push here, the better. And here comes the Uber. They just take in the heavy here, so the heavy can't really chase very well. They really needed an engineer, or what am I saying? A demo man or a soldier in that Uber, and so far they didn't. So they didn't quite make enough headway. And yeah, good thing they didn't take an engineer in the Uber, right? We can agree on that.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have the sentry, but they probably should have just waited for Beast to respawn, then re-push, because trying to get the sentry heavy is really difficult, and the demo man just has stickies and pipes which can reach the sentry much easier.
Yeah, so things once again, they did get the sentry, which is a really important pick when pushing this. There's basically no good counter to the sentry, right? As we actually have a pause. But you know, I remember playing Highlander, and this was just the puzzle, right? How do we push this point? You know, we kind of see a pretty interesting position here with the medic inside the house where the sentry is, and then the heavy on the balcony standing on the logs. That's kind of unusual, right? Like usually the medic is on the left side, right?
It depends on the team, really. There are some teams that actually do the same role that PremTech is doing right now, which basically gives them a bit more cover. They just have to make sure that the boiler area where the sniper usually is cleared out, so they can just stand there safely. And because sometimes what happens, right, is when they stand on the left side in front of the house, they might get called out really early because there are like some cheeky threats where the demo man on the team can spam over the house with rollers and stuff and might actually get the medic if the medic doesn't pay attention. And if you hold too close to the house, you might have to pop really early. So yeah, it really depends what you like. I actually like the position that Connor and Kato are in at the moment more than the left side because of the reasons I just gave.
Yeah, I remember I was talking about like trying to overload like the left house here, right? Because it's all about how do we get the sentry. And really, if you can get like a soldier and a demo into this house where the heavy is standing with this medic, then you can get the sentry kind of unimpeded, right? Like a demo man can spam it out, the soldier can spam it out. And it doesn't take too long, right? Because it's difficult for the engineer to actually repair his sentry without getting killed by the soldier and the demo. So if you have the combo in the house here, then that will shut down some kind of suicide play by the two explosive classes. Of course, the medic is a lot closer, so it might just be a bomb onto the medic instead. So it's very interesting to see how people actually play this. And once again, we have a bomb in here. Oh, Stitzy, look at that. Those pipes over the house that you talked about later. They work both ways.
Yeah.
He went down very low, but gets a sandwich from his trusty heavy there, and he's fine now. But that was very close. And look at that. I just had to say he was safe, but granted job, Bob disagrees and takes down the medic, and so much for that. So the HUD is of course still broken for me at least, but yeah, that was a huge spy pick right away. It was probably the medic that rage quit the server after that, and then that was the pause. But the soldier tried to jump in onto the heavy, and that ends basically the way you think it ends.
Yeah, it was probably never a good bet to jump into the heavy, but that's like one of the reasons why I like the top left side as well, because jumpers can't really jump into you because they'll be seen from a mile away, whereas if they hold on the left side, you can just jump from boiler where you are relatively unseen as well. As we actually see Porky trying to push boiler at the moment, trying to see if he can get a pick. And Winter Bob going down at the moment, of course, he's a good spy checking there.
Yeah, it looks like this is just about where the pause came in. And there we go. That was the pause. So hopefully the HUD's going to normalize soon. But yeah, we see the engineer struggling to set up some stuff here as Calto actually goes down. So that could definitely open up the area here. Yeah, it looks like they are going to go through that high ground here. I do think that's probably the best area to push. Save your pyro, there we go. Finally, the better Uber is definitely on the red side here, but it might not be enough. It's just, if blue team can actually get down the sentry, they're in good shape. And there we go, the soldier does manage to go in from the top side in the house and take down the engineer. And now the sentry can be spammed. But can the engineer get back there in time? Look at how weak that sentry is. It's so weak. But the Phoenix does go down. And it looks like Red has actually stabilized here and fought people off. And that's going to perhaps even save the sentry.
Yeah, most definitely will, because a lot of people died in a push from the blue side, so plenty of time for Yoshi to get upstairs, repair sentry, and just reset.
Yeah. Yep, there we go. Sentry is fine now. That's heartbreaking for the agency. They're going to have to start over. But let's see. I do like the way that push started out. It was just, once again, they just barely managed to not get it. As Mignando takes down a teleporter. That can be important. I don't think it's too important here on this side for Red, but obviously it gives away his positioning as well. So that's kind of annoying. But yeah.
I do feel like when blue pushes, right, that when they're pushing for main, that they'll have to have a soldier like pushing the top right side, if at all possible, just to make sure that the engineer is focusing on two targets, like the combo and the soldier on the right. So he has to make a decision what he wants to focus, and gets distracted, so they might get the sentry down much easier, as we actually have the combo pushing from boiler right now with full Uber. They pop really early, and Connor just pops right now, so Uber exchange going into the favor of the defending people. And it's just...
Yeah, Pyro going gung-ho there, he was in deep. Actually got down the dispenser. Probably not the most critical pick here, but they actually have managed to push the card really far forward here. And the Demo Man is in a position where he can spare out the sentry, but the Just jumps up there and takes him down. So they do manage to eventually get off a lot of this pressure, but the spy's onto the teleporter now. I think he was looking for the engineer, but no buildings to be found in the house. And the soldier jumps in once again. I think this might just be the push that's going to do it for them. Finally, they're going to be able to push everyone back, and there we go. That took once again a while, but I'm so happy that I didn't look like an idiot for saying they should be pushing through boiler. Because I honestly didn't know.
Yeah, 10 minutes is not a great time, but at least they got to C point. It's always better than not getting the points. And right now we actually have a very standard setup from Yoshi, just setting up under the walkway from the spawn, having the combo right there just to make sure everyone's well protected. As we see Mignando close to the combo, he'll probably dig off right under No, he'll actually go on top of the spawn. Let's see what he'll do. As we have
He
a
stole
reset.
the ammo. He stole the ammo from the demo. All worth it, right? That's the job of the spy. But here we come. Another Uber coming in. Connor is on 90%, so if he stays alive for just a little bit longer in this staircase, he'll be fine. But look at this! Oh my god, he goes down to 19 HP or something before finally popping the Uber and actually getting it. That was very close. The Pyro going for the play there almost worked out. And there's actually a level 1 sentry contesting this point, and there we go. Maito just finishing off players here, cleaning a house, and that's going to be it for the push for the moment. But there's still like a mini pretty far forward, so there's a dispenser. There's not a teleporter, which is kind of an important thing to get up. Oh, there is a teleporter. Never mind, I'm wrong. It's just up in the house. So Blue, I think they should just lemmings this, just keep pushing in over and over again. But right now there are a lot of people down, so I don't blame them for waiting.
Yeah, they might as well go for another suicide round, but it might prove to be a bit difficult with the sentry that Ayoshi is having right now. And the last push was actually quite good. They push on an advantage agency, that is. But
no spy on the heavy. Yeah, gets him done.
PremTech just fell out in the staircase and got the Uber instead. So we have Porky right now looking at Choke, see what he can get. But there's not much that's presented to him at the moment.
Once again, we have finally kind of reached some stalemate situations here once again, and pushing around this can be very uncomfortable. Currently, like oftentimes you see the sentry kind of helping out with having a forward position. The sentry is pretty far back right now, and here we go, another Uber push. I feel like the heavy needs to drop down a lot sooner here, and they're not actually even going to get the sentry gun here, and Blue just going to have to retreat out once again. And oh, look at that! The Pyro actually once again snuck in on the flank, and that will actually kind of take down the sentry gun. And Josh jumps in and takes down the medic as well. So everyone went down for Blue, but once the respawners come in, this could be a very dangerous push.
Indeed, Connor actually went down as well, so Stitzy has an advantage of 50% or so by the time Connor spawns. So they'll be able to push off an advantage. And
especially now.
Yeah, they have Mato down at the moment, the Pyro down, just Kaltu in the choke right now, which is a bit lonely. Beast could actually push him right now if he wanted to, but Mist is actually overlooking the choke at the moment.
Yeah. Mignendo, I don't know, that was weird. He just uncloaked on the cart, pushed it a little bit, and then cloaked again when nobody turned around. That was weird. He could have just probably gotten the heavy there. But yeah, look at the Mignendo. He's just literally pushing the cart and just playing with this heavy. Oh, he's so sneaky. So good. Stitzy has a full Uber advantage now. They should definitely move on this, and it looks like they're going to go through the side area here, and there we go. Heavy gets bounced into everyone else, so this could be a very effective Uber, assuming that they get a lot of people in there. The engineer is pushing up, so he's got a sentry in a good spot. That gets taken down though, but look at this heavy. He's doing so much work, and he's on the cart. Soldier in the window though, that's Quintos. He has some work cut out for him, but he is spamming this, and he's doing a lot of work. Look at that. 2 kills right away, but not going to be enough. That was a very good push.
Yeah, they pushed off an advantage and actually managed to kill a lot of people, where in the end there were only like 2 people up. And yeah, it was well played by them. They actually did what they had to do, be aggressive in a situation where they could be.
Yeah, it seemed like they had really good starts to a push, and then it slowly fell apart from there. I love how medics are always popping Ubers in pregame to maximize their points. I think you can get off like 3 Ubers in the setup time, so you gotta maximize your points. Kind of disappointed that we don't see Blue feeding Blue heavy feeding sandwiches to like a herd scout. That's the best way to build points in pregame. Just for any Prem up and coming players, that's what you need to do to look really pro. But yeah, it looks like the sentry gun will not be in the bombing soldier blocking position, like the forward one that you talked about earlier. It's going to be all the way out on the edge there, holding the tunnel and the slope.
Yeah, very standard setup right now, and we'll probably see a suicide wave from PremTech right now, which will be led by Maito and then Quintosh, which worked out brilliantly last time as well. Managed to wipe basically the red team right now, but you see right now Ranger Bob is trying to engage, but quickly gets found out and milked. and suicide waves should be coming anytime soon. Kaltu is actually pushing the hillside right now, just trying to deny as actually Kunai goes down.
Yeah, Manso is actually putting pressure onto the sentry gun here, just lobbing stickies up at it. Finally, you know, he probably did about, I don't know, 600 damage there, but the Wrangle sentry has 900 something. So there we go. A soldier comes in as well, but gets deflected by the pyro there. Pyro doing his job, just holding off the pressure. But the soldier comes in again, it's denied again. Quinchos getting absolutely destroyed by Coruscant. Great job by Coruscant. And Connor, he's out on the map right now. And he looks like he feels uncomfortable. He's just going to back down. And I don't know if Maito actually got the memo there. Looks like he does as a soldier takes a headshot as well. But right now, do you think we're just going to see an Uber push?
You might as well, yeah, it probably would be, but Quintosh is actually jumping right now again and actually forces Ditzy right now really early. So PremTech have an easy time pushing if they decide to do so. And right now, a lot of loot members are actually dying, including Quintosh, Mito, which respawned now, Ayoshi and Venturebob. So really looking good right now for the agency.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're actually going to be pushing out through PremTech, that's the name. I'm gonna push out through the slope area, and looks like they made a lot of headway here, and they take down the sentry, and the medic is weak as well, so the medic has backed off completely. Stitzy looks like he will get out with his life here, but A has fallen for sure. There's no coming back from this, and it's just a matter of can they get their NG up in time to hold C. You know, there's definitely no holding roof here, that's for sure.
Yes, Stitzy actually
Spy on the medic though! Oh my god.
And then Connor goes down as well. Kaltu probably stuck in no man's land right now, but he actually gets help from a sniper. So they'll probably be trying to push up right now. If I were them, I would actually try to go to C immediately, because Sentry still hasn't been set up, and Venturebob is actually already contesting Beast right now, who's really low.
Yeah, the sentry just started going up in this window. And as I mentioned earlier, it doesn't actually shoot out of it until it's level 2. I don't think so, at least. I might have been playing the pro version, but either way. We have a soldier coming in. He's in the skybox, and he's just there. Finally, he does go down. But there's a lot of time on the point. And the sniper, I think he can push really far forward if he can get down the engineer. But no, Porgy is onto him and takes him down, and the demo man goes down as well, as does the heavy. And this push has pretty much been stopped cold, as they're going to have to look in for the long haul here, as Stitzy is sitting on an uber advantage.
Yeah, just a reset right now. Stitzy actually having the Uber right now, as Quintosh is trying to jump in, gets denied, actually killed by Just Jump right now. Sentry on level 2 now, so to actually shoot out of the window. Level 3 now, and they'll probably just wait for Uber right now and try to get a Uber exchange, as Mignando is behind him. Maybe he'll be able to do something, but we'll see.
Yeah, Sneak Nando, not this time. Gets found out by a pyro and a scout. But using the whole map here for sure. He was hanging out behind the house. But I'm kind of curious to see how we're going to see PremTech try to break this. You know, we saw people go through the boiler before. That was kind of the two pushes that seemed to break it finally from the agency, but looks like we do see the medic on the left side here, where you have to be very careful with the pipe spam over the house. The soldier gets taken down there by Fairy, Josh. That's always a bad feeling. I think you even heal the pyro when he reflects a black box, right?
Yeah, you do. Maito actually tried to jump in, go for a suicide to actually get the medic, but he was so far back that he couldn't get anything done right now. And they'll probably exchange Ubers in like 20 seconds or so. They have a lot of people up right now except Maito. Maybe they wait for Maito actually before they push because of the sentry, but we'll see how that works. Kalto actually trying to push the card and actually gets out alive. So
yeah, you making use of those I don't know, glove, the iron, oh, I don't remember what they're called, but you take less damage, and it looks like he's just going in there to actually just touch the cart and then stop it from rolling back. And here we go. We have a soldier in the window, but there's a heavy up on the high ground. So it's kind of interesting. We see a heavy without the medic glued onto him. And there we go. The demo jumps in onto the heavy and actually takes him down. And That's really interesting. A soldier in the skybox, and the spy has actually made it in. He's behind the engineer right now, so if they can put pressure onto the NG, then that should be an easy backstab. And there we go. That is the backstab. The pyro was there as well, but gets taken down by mist. So that should be a very strong push. Once that sentry goes down, it's so difficult to actually hold this point. And there we go. Very strong push.
Yeah, they just use the momentum that's that, and Grandabo actually came in an opportune time where the dispenser wasn't up, so they could actually go upstairs to the sentry. So that was really well played by them. Just Josh jumping at the moment, just getting a Yoshi and then cratering. PK actually going down to Grandabo, so that means no sentry right now. So they have to make do with what they have right now, which is a full Uber on red team. Whereas in corner is on 40%, so the push might not come anytime soon, as Maitus actually stuck in the map room right now, gets out alive, but we'll see how the next push goes.
Yeah, nice flare there by Ferry. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see people just like jump out the window to try and get the medic force. But that didn't happen. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I'm not actually sure what was that, a scout on the medic, but either way, they did get the medic force here. Bees actually do a ton of damage there. He got Maito, so that's the and corner as well. So no Uber advantage as I thought it was going to be, but they definitely resets things and no Ubers in play. I'm not actually sure what that favors. I guess the offense, but you know, any time that's being wasted here is time that the defense would appreciate. They basically have to hold the entire time. If you look at the time, you can see AMS's time and the time left on the map is exactly the same. So I don't know how often that happens, but it seems rare.
Yeah, indeed. We have the sentry at the bottom spawn right now, denying map room at the moment. Stitzy being on 80% Uber, Connor being on almost 70, so relatively even. The push in the cart right now, Calvi that is, gets called out by Ferry, but actually manages to survive, but has to go down. Maito actually pushing the cart right now, spamming the sentry if you can. Doesn't connect the pipes, but Legal trying to get some free cap time. Beast blocking him, and then Porky going as a no sniper.
Spies onto the sentry. Oh, it didn't get sapped. Never mind. And, look at that. The Uber does come up from corner now, and so does it from Stitzy. And right now, it seems like there's a lot more people down from the agency. They could be in a lot of trouble. Here comes the Pyro, jumps in down onto the medic here, just tries his best. Eventually goes down, but there might be a follow-up aggression coming in here. Heavy's on the cart, takes down Gorston, who's trying to flank, and the scout's now onto the medic and the Heavy. Heavy finally goes down, and everyone in that corner has just been completely butchered. And look at that, Mick Nando is the only one alive. He's going to have to get the backstab and the chain stab of his Highlander career. Phoenix now on this cart, trying his best to take it down. The mini is gone, but there we go. Finally, just too much time for PremTech to work with, and that's going to be game, set, and match, right?
Yeah, that means that PremTech are going to be in the upper bracket match, whereas in the agency you have to play in the lower bracket for the Premiership playoffs, Premiership spot. But yeah, the PremTech showing was really dominant. They really knew how to use momentum, and although they haven't been together for a long time, I feel like they were gelling really well with each other.
Yeah, and they will be playing the winner of Stacked and Super Digman's Juniors. I assuming Stacked won, Anna? Seems like a safe bet, but I don't actually know. Maybe you can find out somewhere else. But yeah, that will be tomorrow, and the winner of that match will, of course, qualify for Prem. So that should definitely be something to look forward to. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, this was the match. It was a very, very exciting one, closer as I would have liked it to be, especially since yesterday was very close. It took almost till like 12 p.m., including pauses yesterday. But yeah, PremTech came up on top, and they played the map how they should play the map, like really good. And agency still have a chance. I'm not counting them out. They showed some good plays here and there. Maybe if they work on their coordination a bit more, they'll probably be a really good and safe bet for maybe Premiership as well. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure. It's not over yet. There's still a lot more games to come, and there, whenever there's a lower bracket, there's a good chance. And they don't have to be the best team to qualify. They just have to be one of the 5 best out of 8. So it's still very doable here. I thought it was some pretty entertaining maps. There wasn't a whole lot of god like stalemate when nothing was happening. There was usually some kind of pushing going on. There were a few on Badwater, but overall, they're very entertaining game. Who would you say was like the man of the match, or who stood out to you?
On Badwater, I would probably give the man of the match to Quintosh, because he basically had Stitzy's number for most of the match and enabled his team to make pushes because of the medic pick and defending points because of that as well. So I would probably, at least on Badwater, I would give it Quintosh. On Steel, I'm not quite sure. I think Steam is a team effort here. Like, it's just all in all, PremTech just played the map like they always played it. Really good, really by the book. Didn't take unnecessary chances, and yeah. What about you?
I definitely agree on Quintos on Badwater. Like the way he always just got in and forced or dropped the medic was really strong. Yeah, but as for Steel, I really don't know. I guess I had to give it to anyone. I have no idea. I'll just defer to your judgment. That seems like the smart move here. Yeah, but the main caller. Let's just say that main caller. Who is the main caller on PremTech?
Oh, I'm not quite sure. I'd assume it probably be Maito SE is the team leader, but I'm not quite sure. I think Kaltu can assist with main call as well, and basically probably the combo taking charge for the team. And for agency, might be the same. Like, usually you probably have one of your combo players main calling, and as of recent, usually that's not the medic actually doing it, and it might actually be the demoman or the heavy. It's kind of getting out of fashion that the medic actually main calls, at least in my experience.
Yeah, all right. Well, I have very little else to say other than apologize for not knowing anything about anything. So I don't know if you have nothing else to add here. I guess we should plug the Highlander invitation coming up this Sunday. Definitely check that out. Check out the big article that was written about it. It should be on ETF2L's website, and that should be very strong. But yeah, do you have anything else before we go?
Oh, definitely some shoutouts. Shoutouts to Don for making this possible, and shoutouts to you, Beta, for being my casting partner, as well as ETF2L for making this a possibility. A good week for Highlander, and more to come as the season will start shortly after this. And shout out to V2 for making this really good looking hut.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, guys, take care. Blackout Gaming should be back tomorrow with more Highlander coverage. There's a whole ton of it going on this week. So until then, have a good night and take care. See you then. Bye-bye.
See you around.